Yeah, unfortunately, no flag to fly tonight. So yeah, I'm a little bummed.
Maybe a white flag. Maybe a white flag.
Yeah, wave the white flag. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm a little disappointed though because I had a new flag thing to put up to wave to have on the screen, and I don't get to do it, at least not yet anyway. But with that in mind, we're going to talk about it right after this.
West Cork Beard Company make beard oil and beard balm for a strong, healthy, great-looking beard. Handmade from all natural ingredients in Clonakilty, West Cork. Check out their YouTube channel for beard care tips and advice, or catch them online at westcorkbeardcompany.ie.
You know what? I need a smoother transition between the intro video and then the beard oil thing, because like we popped in and then popped right back out.
Yeah, they almost caught me picking my nose.
Well, it catches me stroking my beard all the time. So it doesn't actually catch me. I'm just always doing it. So how are you, Stan?
I'm very well, mate. Very busy at work, rainy weather here in Vancouver, but I can't complain.
I don't know. Which would you rather? Is it cold up there?
Yeah, it has been quite cold actually.
Would you rather have cold and snow or cold and rain?
Cold and in rain.
Cold and rain?
Yeah.
See, I'd give me the. So let me go to Ryan. So for those that don't know, here on the East Coast, we just the hand of God just came down and dumped a bunch of snow on the East Coast.
Right.
Here in Pittsburgh, we didn't get much. We got maybe 3 inches, give or take. It's actually snowing like hell outside right now. I went out to get dinner earlier, and I was practically driving in a whiteout. Ryan, how much snow did you guys end up getting?
I believe like around 10 inches.
Wow. So New York City got like 2 feet. I almost said 10 feet. They almost got 2 feet or something. So
yeah,
but. Yeah, so that's why I asked. I've been in London in December with cold rain, and I tell you, man, cold rain just chills me to the bone. Give me snow any day of the week. On the other hand, you're from there, Stan, so I would imagine you're used to it. So
yeah, I don't like snow, man. It always fuck up my trainers. So I'm not really.
No, sound like my brother. My grandfather. In 1996, and I promise we're actually going to talk Arsenal. We're not just going to sit here and bullshit about the weather all night. My grandfather in 94. There was a blizzard, an actual blizzard. Got almost 3 feet of snow. My grandfather, after that was over, he went out and he bought himself an $1,100 snowblower. And he brings it home and he says, "I swear to God, I hope I never use this fucking thing." But yeah, so best investment he ever made. $1,100 on a John Deere snowblower, and he loves the fact that he has it. He hates snow, but he loves the fact that he has it. So, yeah, Ryan, how are you? Other than the snow,
pretty good. I
was going to say other than the 10 inches, but I didn't want you to get excited.
Wait, we're talking about snow? Yeah, I was happy.
The only time you've ever seen 10 inches in your life was your prom date when it was your prom night when your date took off his pants.
No, it was a girl, I think. Anyways.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it was good. I was happy. Woke up Monday, woke up to a text from my store saying, "Yeah, you don't got to come in. We're closing early. Snow day at work. Awesome." And then I go right on Twitter. Mustafi's leaving. I'm like, oh, this could be the greatest day of my life. And then we did some other transfer business, which I'm sure we'll get into. And then, we had a game today, apparently. And I watched it. So
yeah.
That's how I feel right now.
Stan, you want to shout everybody out in the chat right now? Got 28 watching us. Give the
We've got Darren's in there, Bargrav's in there, Tajaz is back again in there, Stefan, Hetherington, Romance, and Gothic Writings is in there. Gary's in there, don't waste a treat, doing his admin duties there, his marshalling duties. Onib's back again, Max Stara.
So I do want to say real quick.
Danny AFC TV's in there.
If Gary doesn't say hi to you, it's kind of like fast food where if you don't get your receipt, you get like a coupon. I don't know. Some fast food, at least near me, if like they don't give you the receipt and you say something, you get like a burger for free or something. If Gary doesn't say hi to you in the chat, you let us know. And
yeah, and just to reiterate, no one will be.
You're not getting. Hang on,
you won't give you a burger.
You're not getting anything.
You're not going to get anything, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. We need to clarify that. People are going to say, "Oh, wait, if Gary doesn't say hi to me, do I get a jersey or something?" Like
free burger.
Yeah.
You get a burger. Or you can have some French toast. Compliments the chef.
I'm still a little reeling from this afternoon.
That's why I'm eating French toast.
Nice. Yeah, I drowned my sorrows.
French toast.
I drowned my sorrows in KFC. So, but let's get the elephant in the room out of the way with, I guess. This was an absolute this was a crime against humanity today. Just I'm not going to absolve David Luiz, and I'm certainly not going to absolve Bernd Leno. We should have finished the chances that we had in the first half. We put them down 2 or 3-0. This is a completely different game. Even when we were down a man in the second half, even after Moutinho's goal, we were in it. I felt like we were in it. We just had to keep pushing. And I felt like at the very least we were going to equalize. We were going to get that equalizer and nick the draw being a man down. And then Leno just and I'm coming to you first on this because it's your boy. Not that he's not my boy. I love Bernd Leno. But this was bad. This was bad. Like, if he would have been on the edge of the 18-yard box, I could be like, okay, kind of lost track. He didn't quite know where he was. He thought he was in the box, but he wasn't. Dude, he's closer to the touchline than he is the 18-yard box. And what's he trying to, like, forearm shiver the ball? Like, I help me out here, man. German, explain the German thing because I got nothing.
So I'm gonna pull a tie right off the bat and say it was raining, but it was raining, and what happened was the ball took us. If you looked at I looked at the replay a few times, the ball skidded to his left, and he kind of misjudged the ball because of the way it hit the turf or the field, whatever the field's made of, and he realized, oh shit, I'm not getting this, and he kind of tried to cup it, this is like my body, but he took his arm. And he cupped the way around. So, he misjudged it. It's funny because had he caught, I would have been more upset with him if he had just caught it and was on the line of the 18 and he happened to be just a little bit over. But yeah, I mean, he was midair. The ball took a weird, move and no looking back, and at that point it just becomes almost like second nature. Not second nature. It's probably a bad word, but he just kind of was like, all right, well, I gotta not let this ball get past me, so I'm gonna go whoop. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, definitely a mistake. But I don't think it's again. It's bad.
I'm not worried. It's not the kind of thing where I'm worried about him. And this is a one-off, right? I mean, we're not going to see this again from him, right?
He's won us so many points. Why? I don't even know why it's a question.
No, you don't know. You don't get the pass.
Wait. Okay. I go.
Now I want to bring Stan. Hang on. I want to bring Stan in on this. So, based on what Ryan and I just said, give me your opinion first. Does he get a pass?
So here's the thing, right? With these two particular red cards, and this is just coming from myself. I like Bernd Leno. I don't like David Luiz. But the thing is, right? If I'm trying to be objective, right? The David Luiz one, ordinarily that was a very harsh decision,
Yeah.
right? You know, and I understand why the club are thinking of appealing it, right? I get that. But for me, the way I think about it, I'm just like, it's bloody David Luiz again, isn't it? You know, I don't forget, and I think it was either on this show last week or maybe over on Fan Circle, I was talking about the things with David Luiz. It's always going to happen. You know, it's always in there. You know, maybe another player who's in his place, maybe that doesn't happen. I don't know. Anything could have happened. Maybe another player gets skinned and it's a goal for the opposition. Who knows? But for me, and I'm just going to be perfectly honest, I'm not a big fan of David Luiz. So I'm just like, fucking hell, that's another red card. How many is he trying to collect, you know? But to try and be objective about it, it was a bit harsh. And then I go to the other side of the coin, you know, Bernd Leno, who I absolutely adore, by the way. You know, I'm like, oh, Bernd, why did you do that? What the fuck? You know, oh, Bernd. You know, instead of going, fucking hell, David Luiz. Because it's because of the way that I feel about the two players. But, you know, Bernd Leno's one was probably worse out of the two. He got himself caught.
Absolutely.
He's got himself caught in no man's land, and he's tried to do something. He's tried to repair the damage, and he's made a split-second decision, and it's just all gone. It's just all gone wrong, isn't it? It's just all gone wrong. So,
I think Gary put it really well in the comments, saying Leno made a mistake. Luiz put himself in a bad situation.
Yeah,
and. It's tough because kind of, and I'm agreed to stay on this one. When the Luiz thing happened, obviously I didn't see the replay. When it happened in real time, I think I threw a gallon of apple juice somewhere. Megan yelled at me. Wasn't good.
That's what she yelled at you for?
Well, I kicked like a grocery bag and I threw a gallon of apple juice. I think is it a gallon or how do they come like it's a big thing of apple juice? Yeah, I was very upset. And then with Leno, I was like, exactly what Stan said. I was like, oh, Leno, like, no. But I feel like also, too, like, I have to think about it. Like, Leno's thing came second. So I kind of laughed. I was like, oh, like, I was pissed. Then the Leno's thing happened. And then I just giggled to myself, you know, and the gif of, like, the little dog sitting down in a chair and the whole room is like,
yep.
Yeah, this is fine. That's how I felt. Like, yeah, this is good. This is fine. This is great. Cool.
I think it's as well. I mean, if Bernd Leno had a history of running out of his box and handling the ball, you would be like, bloody hell, Leno again. But he's usually very good. He gets us a lot of points and he usually makes some good decisions. But, you know, yet again, David Luiz gets another red card. And it's just because, for me, I just remember all the other ones he's clocked up and I'm not a fan of his anyway. It makes it sting a little bit more. You're like, of course it's going to be David Luiz. Of course it is, you know? So maybe I'm being unfair, and I get it, you know. I get it when some people are saying, like, you know, if you're really calling David Luiz out on this and saying it's all his fault and blah, 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 then you're a bit of an idiot, you know. And I kind of get that, but you have to look at the emotions of it all. And as I said at the beginning, do you know what I mean? I like Bernd Leno, I don't like David Luiz. So
yeah,
you tend to give one a little bit more of a leeway, right? You will. It's just the way it is.
Sure.
And what hurts for me more too is I think if that had happened to any, like Leno's mistake, that could have happened to any player. If the ball's bouncing at you and you're trying to make a play on it and you're jumping up to like chest it or do something with the ball and the ball just kind of skids out on you, you're going to do that. Any I don't care what anyone says. Any player is going to have that reaction to kind of like, I don't want this ball getting past me. I'll deal with the consequences later, you know? And it just so happens that one of our best players, a very important position, Matty Ryan's hurt, and he just came to the club.
Well, he's going to train this week. So
yeah, I think something wrong with his hip. So it kind of just stacks up, and you're like, Leno, like look at this situation you put us in. Had it been, had it been Luiz who did that, I mean, if he was still on the field, or someone else, you'd have just been like, all right, we could like, I would be more upset because obviously it's not Leno, but you could be like, okay, well, we could make changes, we could move things around. Well, now we might have Runnerson against Villa on Sunday. So
speaking of, I'm going to bring up Maxwell here.
I wouldn't go. He made 2 good saves. I'm not going to say
he didn't throw the ball in the back of the net. I mean, that's
listen,
improvement, right? But I just want to say about this match. Let's say neither of you had seen this game, you've been working all day, and I said, come around after work, we'll sit down, I've taped it.
I was working while I was watching it. So.
Sit down, I've taped the game, right? And I stopped it at, say, 42, 43 minutes. And I stopped the game and I said, right, tell me how the story ends. You would neither of you have just said, well, 2 red cards.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? A penalty going to go against us.
At that moment, Stan, I'd have told you it ends 3 or 4-0 because they had nothing. They had absolutely nothing.
And I think that's the most painful thing about this game.
Yeah.
I mean, when I sat down to watch it and we got up to say the 42-minute mark, I thought we've talked about the bad, but let's talk about something good. I really felt that Nicolas Pepe, and I said it again. I think it was either here on Ray's show. I want to see him have a run of games to see what he really is about. And I'm glad that he played today. And the goal that he scored, he gets the ball, passes it, gets it back, cuts back and takes on 2 players and manages to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, what more can you ask for? That's what you want to be seeing, right? So to get to 42, 43 minutes, and if you just paused it and you said, well, tell me how this story ends. I mean, what happened after that was just pure madness. Really?
Yeah.
It might have been the best half of football we had played this season up until that point. Like and it was a mix of that, and I said this, to Megan while we were watching. I was like, this team, talking about the Wolves, they don't look like they want to play us. They just don't look. They're just not putting the extra effort in to get the ball. Saka was running through Kilburn or Kilfern. I don't know his name. Yeah, I know he's out of position. But he was slicing them up. Players they weren't making tackles. They were letting Partey make passes to the middle of the field. They didn't look like they wanted to be there. And then things happen, and now it's like, oh wait, all right, we're 1-1 at halftime. Sure, let's no, because in the second half, I don't even think they played that well either. I don't think they played that good either. I think I don't know who scored their goal, but it was a beautiful shot.
Moutinho, and that's. Listen, I'm going to give credit where credit is due because that's a hell of a strike.
But other than that, you have 2 plays that define the game, and other than that, they didn't look like they wanted to play us. They looked like they were at a training session, and I think that's what really gets me more mad. Is I don't want to say it, but part of me was like, geez, the refs and VAR want the Wolves win more than the Wolves do. Like, what's going on here? I growing up playing sports, organized sports my whole life, I've always been in that situation where I think the refs working against us, and you think you're going against 2 teams instead of 1. So I get that, and my knee-jerk reaction is to just shame the refs, shame everything, and I may say something crazy here, but I think David Luiz put himself in that situation.
He did. He absolutely put. Let me ask you a question.
He made a mistake. The red was harsh, penalty. Yeah, probably not. I probably didn't touch him. Cool. I still don't know. I've seen it replay so many times. I do not know if you touched him or not. It's crazy.
He did. He did. Well, here's what happened. I think it was Willian Jose who had the ball and was running, and that Luiz was chasing. And as he's running and he kicks back, his spikes grazed David Luiz's knee or his shin. He's going down. That's the thing. If you go back and you watch Willian Jose at that moment, he senses that he senses the contact. I'm not going to say he sit here and say that he sensed that he created it, but he sensed the contact and he started going down. As he's falling, now David Luiz creates his own contact, and I mean. Let me ask a question. Let me ask you both a question. Stan, I'm going to start with you. Looking back on the play, David Luiz probably should have just let Willian Jose go and hand him off to Bernd Leno and say, okay, pray to God that either Bernd bails me out, that Leno bails me out and makes a save, or Willian Jose, who just got into town, 5 days ago, whatever it might be, pray that he, boots it wide, boots it over the goal, something, but somehow or other, just anything I do from here is going to draw a penalty, let this play out and hope that somehow or other I get bailed out. Would Arsenal supporters in general be screaming that David Luiz didn't do anything had he taken that approach. Because I almost feel like, and I'm starting with you because you just said you don't like him. So is David Luiz in a situation here where he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't?
Well, the first thing is that when I noticed that the commentator was referring to a Wolves player by the name of Willian, for a minute I thought, did we sell him to Wolves?
Did we miss
the last second of the transfer window while I was sleeping.
Transfer just got a lot better.
Yeah,
So,
and I thought about it, and then I realised it was a totally different geezer. So that, you know, but you're exactly right, because you know you make a good argument about, you know, maybe leaving him for Leno to deal with. But if that all goes tits up and the ball ends up in the back of the net, for sure, you know, David, I would be the first one to go, he left him. Why is he not staying with the guy? Why is he not staying with him? You know, and that's just me. I'll be totally honest with you. You know, the fact that he's now got, you know, he got us a man down. I'm like I said, that bloody David Luiz, because I'm not a fan of his. But in that situation, you're right. I think a player like David Luiz is damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. In that situation, if it ends up either way with a goal in the back of the net because he doesn't track back, or how he did end up today, he's fucked.
Yeah, there's easy. And the thing is, he put himself in a bad position. Like Ryan said, a few other folks in the chat have said this. He put himself in a bad position. He's not where he's supposed to be defensively, and that's what allowed the Willian Jose run past him. So,
well, personally, I would rather see a player trying to repair their damage and make up for it than just think to themselves, well, I'm out of position. I fucked it now. I'll just let him run past.
So
and hope someone else can mop it up.
So if you
mop up my mess.
Take off the bias cap. So you're saying you take off your bias cap, and you're saying what he did is what you would have preferred him to do.
Yeah,
you would have preferred him to try to make the play.
Yeah.
Fair. Real quick, I want to bring up Lawrence Emanuel's comment here. Why are we blaming the team tonight, Stan, when it was Craig Pawson's poor officiating that cost us the game? Before you answer, Lawrence, we had our chances in the first half, man. I'm not saying Craig Pawson is beyond reproach, and I'm not saying he's without blame. He certainly is. But we had our chances in the first half to make this thing easily 4 or 5-0 in the first half, and we didn't take those chances. You don't put the entire loss on Craig Pawson. You just don't.
I'm going to go a step further. I don't blame – well, okay, no. Craig Pawson had a bad game officiating.
Oh, an awful game.
For that play, I do not blame him giving the penalty. He was in such – in the moment. To that angle, I would have called that penalty. I would have been a penalty. Yeah. I freaked out. I told you, Apple juice go bye-bye. I was like, Luis just fucked him up. We just gave a penalty away. VAR is where I have a problem. VAR should be coming in and correcting this Pawson's mistake. I don't blame Pawson. I think any one of us would have made that mistake. And if anybody in the chat says they wouldn't, I don't believe you. I think he was in a. I think Pawson was in a really bad spot to make that call. Made the wrong call. VAR should have came in and been like, yeah, no contact, no nothing. Get rid of the red card. They didn't.
You said wrong.
And it was a quick check too. The check was, oh yeah, cool, yeah, bye, see ya. So, and if I remember correctly, or maybe it's Pawson, I don't know, but all I know is either Pawson or whoever did VAR today was the same ref that called off our Socrates goal against Crystal Palace when we pulled ahead 3-2 for a Callum Chambers foul when Callum Chambers got fouled. So I think that might have been Pawson who was our ref, but it's just it's tough. And to Jorge, he could have went to the screen, I guess. But when is that? Like, what does it happen? Like twice, And talking about VAR, it kind of gives me a segue because I didn't mention my beer of the week. And what I'm gonna say is, and I hope nobody in the chat is a gypsy because whatever. But my beer is Notorious Gypsy because gypsies growing up they steal stuff, and I feel like the game got stolen from us. We had that game won, put to bed. We outplayed them, outclassed them. They didn't even want to be there. And like I said, the officials wanted the Wolves win more than they did. So, a few things and boom, here we are, blaming everybody but ourselves. And I agree. I think we should have been up more, and I think we could have did more. And to even go further with the David Luiz being in the wrong position, he's running. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Samundo Saka was guarding Samundo. Luis was pressed up on Samundo when Saka was on him. He pushed off Samundo. Is that his name? I don't even know who it is. Semedo? I don't even know who. It might not even have been Semedo. I don't even know who it was. And then he's like, off to the races and runs back. So he shouldn't even. He was him and Saka were man mark or were double teaming the same. It didn't make any sense. I even said to him, I was like, Luis, what are you doing? Why are you right in Saka's face? Why are you doing this? He pushes off, and then boom, he's off to the races. And I must say, this will be my chance to say I told you so. Jessica, you know I love you, but I was very adamant on Jess's show, which everyone should check out. She knows Arsenal. Great show. And Jess, you're a great host. But I was the one who said you need Gabriel to start here. Luis, quick turnaround. I gave Luis man of the match against who was it?
United.
Yeah, I thought he was great. And then quick turnaround. He's older. I don't think he's gonna do well with Traore and Neto. I just didn't like it. I was like, you bringing Gabriel. Yes, Gabriel's last game, he wasn't the greatest passing, but I didn't care. I thought we were gonna put 2 against the Wolves early, and then that's fine. I need someone who's gonna be rough and tough, aerial, and just play solid defense. I don't care about the quarterback in the back. I don't care about the passing and moving things around from the center backs. And it gets me mad because I don't like being right in this situation. I'm really mad. I might just.
I can tell you're really mad.
I might just get Arteta out. I might take over as manager, and I'll know what to do.
Stan, let me ask you something. Does it? It feels to me like we lost 6 points today. Like we dropped 6 points today, and we didn't. We dropped 3. But it just feels like a kick in the stones, man. Does it feel like that to you?
It does, because as Ryan said a moment ago, he's watched a David Luiz incident back. He can't tell if there's contact. So this is the perfect opportunity for when they do go to VAR. Where's all that spinning the screen around, all the lines that they put, the little dots, the use of the Hubble telescope. I mean, that shit. They do that to us, right? I've seen it enough times when they do it to us, and they put it, they put it all through its paces. But that was a perfect opportunity. I mean, they've got the technology, so if there's any doubt, shouldn't they be using that technology to find out one way or the other? If anything, it might absolve David Luiz, with somebody like me who can't stand the fucking fellow. At least it might do that. Do you know what I mean? So
I think what also got me more angry too is when we had the first goal that got ruled out for offsides. Every time and it's funny because I always complain about it. Whenever they go check VAR, they do the lines and they draw the line on the ground. Then they check the player and they do the line down. It's like a physics graph. I don't know what's going on. I'm completely lost. They didn't do that. When we watched the game, they were like, yeah. And they showed a very weird angle. And it's like, yeah, I think Saka's off. Yeah, yeah. Very quick check. Like, oh, yeah, offsides, no goal. So I think that even got me more mad because that was a quick check. They didn't do the line and bar graphs and pie charts, whatever they do. And then the Luis thing took 2 seconds. That is something that even
exactly.
And I guess you can argue like, well, it's not a clear and obvious error because you can't tell if he touched him or not. Fair. But if that's the case, they should have looked at it longer. That was way too quick of a check. And because I've watched the replay multiple times because I'm trying to find it. I wanted to come on this podcast and I want to be like, you know what? I see the contact. Or you know what? There is clearly no contact. This is, I can't make a call on that. So
the other thing that pisses me off as well, for something that's so kind of it's not decisive, right? What really happened there? We get a red card and a penalty. It's like double jeopardy.
It's so there's a thing.
They're going to give you a free shot on goal as well. It's like what?
It's a triple. It's considered the triple punishment,
which I heard they got rid of. Which why now
right. They got rid of that. Yeah. So they supposedly got rid of this. Where now, figure this out. If Luiz actually goes in at Willian Jose's feet. If he goes in and makes a sliding tackle, misses the ball,
yeah,
but gets his feet, it's a penalty, but it's only a yellow card. Figure that out.
Exactly. I don't get it. I'm just so
this was a red. And the thing that hurts the most about this, number one, is he got sent off, and it doesn't really hurt me that he's going to miss a game or 3. And I don't know what the rule is. I thought if it was a straight red card,
I hope it's 3 personally, but there you go. I hope it's 3 personally, but there you go.
Who was it earlier in the year that we had that conversation about? Like, thank God we don't have to see him for 3 games.
Xhaka,
yeah. But at any rate, it's the triple penalty. So you get sent off, you get a match ban, and they get the penalty. So it's the triple punishment, which they supposedly got rid of. And I can't believe that VAR went back and looked at this and actually upheld the red penalty. Sure, you're not going to get much of an argument out of me about the penalty, but a red card, really? Like that? Yeah. That just I mean, are they the only thing I could wrap my brain around is they're calling it a clear and obvious scoring opportunity, and David Luiz impeded that, and that is an automatic red card. So that's I'm dumbfounded at it. Any positives to take from the fact that we only lost 2-1? Because I'll be honest, even when we were down 2 men, I genuinely felt like we could still score.
That's so funny because what was it? The Southampton game when we last podcast last week, we talked about how like we went down 1-0. You guys were like, I don't know, all hope was lost, and I was like, no, like I knew we were going to score. That's our party. I knew we were going to score. Today, we went 1-1. I go, I didn't want to watch it anymore. I was like, I guess I'm gonna go play video games. I don't want to watch anymore. But you know what? I like torture. I like punishment, so I watched it. And then when we went 2-1 up, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we're not even gonna get a point. Whatever. It's over. I knew we weren't gonna come back. I had no hope. So it's kind of funny how I flip-flop. You guys flip-flop. But yeah, but I will say the one positive, Gary, this is the part of the podcast where you cover your ears and close your eyes. I thought Xhaka was the best player in the first half. I gave Xhaka my man of the match. I thought Xhaka was just I think Xhaka did everything right. I was shocked, and I was while I was watching the game, I'm like, oh my God.
I'm not rolling my eyes at you because you said he played a really good game. Rolling my like you thought he was the best player in the first. Wow.
Besides Pepe's crazy awesome goal, which was amazing, and he was threatening. I would say it was a toss-up between Xhaka and Pepe, but I think I just gave it to Xhaka because I was like, listen, he got me to say multiple times in the first half, wow, oh, Xhaka, oh, hey, oh, hey, you
Thomas Partey had a very nice bounce back game as well because he
I said that he played really well, but just for me to say multiple times like, okay, Xhaka, like okay, prove me wrong. Keep going, buddy. Keep going.
All right. You brought it up, Stan. Stan, give me a man of the match.
Oh, fuck, Yeah,
it's very tough. I had to. For Arse Bros, so.
I think maybe Saka or Pepe. Because Saka has had really good chances, and I think had we had maybe all of our men, on the pitch, including our number one keeper as well, he might have been able to do a little bit more. But I was very, very pleased for Nicolas Pepe. And it's interesting as well that he's now being deployed on the left, right, where he spent most of his life being on the right. And, I like that because you've got somebody on one of the wings that's naturally footed for that side, rather than having him on the right and having to cut in. So I like that. And he scored today on his right peg. That's the second time I've seen him do that, So
go ahead, Stan. I'm sorry.
I think that from this game, I think that's probably the big positive that I would take away from it was Nicolas Pepe. And that's the sort of goal that I think that should keep you in the team, because he's been taken out of the team a lot when I feel that he shouldn't have been when he's done good in the previous game. So I think he should be able to continue his run. That only bodes well for your confidence. I mean, there's a good chance, right, that in the next game, Aubameyang could be back and ready to play, right? His personal issues, aside. So if that happens, right, where does he go? Is he going to go on the left? And if he goes on the left, then that means that Nicolas Pepe is just going to be back on the bench.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be difficult to take Lacazette out the side at the moment because he's been, he's been coming up with the goods in Aubameyang's absent. So I think it would be a little bit unfair at this point to automatically say to Nicolai, so I'm going to have to drop her because Auba's back. Personally, I don't know what anyone else thinks about that.
I think, Ryan, I'll come to you immediately on it as soon as don't you play based on merit? Isn't that how the team is supposed to be picked? So, I mean, if Aubameyang comes back into the lineup straight away, he's coming back in on two things: name and money. That's it. He's coming back. He makes more than Pepe does. Transfer fee aside, but he makes more than Pepe does. He's the captain. Oh, by the way, but I don't bring him back in right away. This team has played better without him in the lineup.
Yeah,
that's a fact. That's a fact. We've played better without him in the lineup.
And it's not so much that we've played better. I think we've looked more of a cohesive team.
You know why?
We haven't looked so lopsided and a little bit.
Here's why. Because when he's in there, everybody looks to him to score. Everybody looks to him to create. Without him, you don't have that guy that you're like, well, he's our scorer, so give him the ball. You know what I mean? This is a bad comparison, but everybody will get it. I'm not saying that he's nowhere near this level, but he's Michael Jordan from the NBA. It was the Bulls gave him the ball. And like, okay, you're the best in the world, go score. Now, I'm not saying Aubameyang's best in the world, but he's at one point was the best on this team. And these younger players especially, give him the ball, he's going to go score.
Jess makes a good point, though. He scored 2 in the previous game as well.
Yeah.
It reminds me of. I don't know if you guys.
Let's ask though. Let's say now the next game, and Aubameyang is fit to play because he came on the last game. He came on today, and Jess makes a good point. I shouldn't be so I don't know, goldfish brained today. He scored 2 in the last game, which you would think again would warrant someone being in the team. So what do we do for the next game? Who's going to miss out? Who does the chat box think should miss out or should?
Yeah. You've got Pepe, you've got Aubameyang. In chat box, tell us what you think.
Saka's got to keep in. Saka's got to stay in. He's not done anything wrong. So the only really 2 places that there is any space is Pepe and maybe Lacazette. Do you know what I mean? They're the only 2 sort of spaces really.
That's how Auburn gets in. That's how we fix the problem.
There you go.
I've said that on
figured out all that ails us.
We play Orba as a rush goalkeeper.
Yeah. I'll make my call, and just based on the last 2 games, I am going to agree with Jorge Ortiz one more time. Whoops, wrong comment. There you go. Pepe is in form. Alba's on the bench. Simple as for me. If you're in form, and hate to say it, but Aubameyang right now lost out because and I'm not faulting him by any stretch of the imagination. He had a family issue. I think his mother took ill, and that's absolutely family life comes before football. But unfortunately, we're in win now mode. And right now, I think with Pepe being in form and his confidence is starting to grow, I think he has to get the start. Ryan?
I mean, even throw form out the window, I think Pepe has to start. I agree with you guys in that we played much better without Aubameyang. We're more balanced without Aubameyang. It's tough to say because we were all somewhat excited when he re-signed, and we were happy that he pretty much won us an FA Cup. Let's not get too out of control, but he kind of did. But yeah, you got to ride the hot hands Pepe, and I think where it kind of complicates things is you said it, Tanner, he's our captain. So I don't think that matters. I know some teams and some coaches always want their general out on the field. I wouldn't call Aubameyang a general or a leader. But you have to bench Aubameyang. You have to play Pepe, and I also think he's not going to be captain of this team for much longer. Not really for what he has done. I just think there's just better leaders on this team.
So look, right, we've just talked to. It just occurred to me as well. We're talking about this, but hold on a minute, right? Here's another curveball. We've got to throw Gabriel Martinelli now into the mix. Now, that's another cat amongst the pigeons right there. Yeah, I mean, he's
okay.
been taken out a few times. Maybe not be completely fit, but I mean, what do you do?
He's the kind of guy you bring on the 60th, 70th minute, and you say the defense is tired. Go outwork them. But run them ragged and do your thing. I don't think he's a guy right now, anyways. I don't think he's a guy that starts. I think,
I think you're right.
I think I don't think tactically he's really there yet. I think where did he come from? Third tier, fourth tier Brazilian league. I don't think tactics were a big thing. So second, excuse me.
He seems to get back and defend a lot. He seems to get back when he's needed. And I mean, in that last game he played, if you remember, he came running out of nowhere and headed the ball out just before that's before their player could.
And I think that's just because he's just full of energy and he wants to work for the team and he wants to do anything for the team. And credit to him. But I just think he's a guy you bring him on towards the end of the game. You go run that D. They're tired. Go crazy.
I just had a thought, and I just with Martinelli, I've been saying this for a while now that the younger players are coming through for us, and if we drop Aubameyang and go a little younger, it just seems to work better with the younger players. And I don't mean to repeat myself, but I said before, we're a better team without Aubameyang in the lineup. It's just that simple. I don't. Go ahead.
To Star's comment. That's why I giggled. If Abba's on the bench, Cedric goes to right back. No. I think Lacazette's the backup captain or Bellerin. Well, no. If somebody takes Bellerin's spot, then it's Lacazette gets the armband.
Well, but Star, the answer, if this is a question, the answer is in your question. As to in my opinion, who should get the armband. No, it's not Cedric.
Is he from Scotland by any chance?
Yes, he is.
Xhaka doesn't touch the armband unless last 5 minutes of the game, all the captains get subbed off or something. He's never going to start a game with the armband again. They would. I don't think Arteta's that dumb.
I want to shout out Egal real quick. EGTV, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you checking in on us. Is it a good problem to have, or are we not? I mean, this is like Manchester City problem level stuff, isn't it? I mean, all these players that were like, man, he could play. Wait a minute. Oh, he could do it too. Wait. Oh, by the way, there's this dude. And, oh, yeah, there's one more sitting over here still that could do the job too. I mean, there's just not enough time to go around. And if Martinelli ends up falling down the pecking order in this, we're going to lose him. And I don't want to lose him. I'll tell you that right now.
We're not going to lose him.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You really were. I don't know. He's the kind of guy you bring on.
Not right away. But Alba ain't going anywhere for 2 years. They're talking about extending Lacazette's contract now, which I don't think we should do. No. If I'm being totally honest. Pepe all of a sudden is rounding into
talking about extending David Luiz's contract, which scared the Jesus out of me.
Here's proof positive today of why you don't do it. If you're going to extend his contract, that dude is the fire extinguisher in the glass case. In case of emergency, break the glass. That's it. That dude doesn't get a sniff unless he's doing the dirty laundry.
And trying to take my bias out of it and maybe take your bias out of it a little bit. I think, too, Luis's contract and what he does with this club, I think also hinges on Saliba. I think if we don't think Saliba's ready, I think we might be like, yeah, we got to keep you. I mean, you don't really have a choice. We got rid of two center backs just January in the transfer window. Who do we have, really? You have Mari, Chambers, Holding, Gabriel. Is that it? Or
and David Luiz.
Yeah. So I feel like if you loan Saliba out again, which honestly, based on how everything's going, it might happen. It's not. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I think you're gonna have to extend Luis. Do I agree with it? That's another story. We can't.
Well, the question is, okay, so pressing question here just popped into my mind, and the transfer window did just shut, so we can kind of segue into that a little bit. But does it make more financial sense to re-sign David Luiz here again if he is legitimately considered the in case of emergency break the glass center back, or go buy one?
If we cut his pay even more, I would consider it. Yeah, if we cut his pay even more,
we spent almost £30 million on Saliba, and he's not played for us for almost 2 seasons now.
Yep,
2 seasons.
It'll be 2 full seasons.
How many seasons does this dude need to bed in wherever it is he's bedding in? I mean, 30 million. I mean, we paid this almost the same amount of money for Gabriel, right? He's 22 years old. He's not 25, 26. So why is he not getting a game? And if he doesn't come back to us in the summer and we sell him straight away or something, then that needs to be investigated big time.
And I think, too, it complicates the situation just a little bit more, and EGTV said it perfectly, too. Luis was man of the match last game. He was my man of the match. He played well. He has his games that he performs out of his – but it's kind of what Stan says. It's like you're biting your nails. You're clenching your cheeks. You don't know when it's going to come. You don't know when it's going to happen. So, I think that's the thing. And to that Mavropanos, he's not coming back. I don't think he's going to be. I think
he gets sold. I don't know if there was a purchase option in the loan agreement.
There wasn't. I don't.
Where's he at?
He's in. Whoa, really?
Is he at Stuttgart? Is it Stuttgart?
Come on, buddy.
Come on. Hey,
all right, take a seat. Let me take this show over. Okay, so he's at Stuttgart. No, and he's not terrible at Stuttgart, but he's coming back from an ankle injury, and he's not. I think he started the last game, but he hasn't really started. He's all right, and the way their manager says it, he's a gladiator, and it's fair. I don't think he's gonna fit us. I don't think he fits our team. I think we need to increase his value, and I think he's doing that at Stuttgart.
Well, then they like him there, right? I was reading the manager.
Yeah, they like him. Like the manager said, he's a gladiator. We love him. But it's again, they have a lot of center backs. They like playing. Yeah, you're muted. Great. They like playing 3 at the back, Stuttgart. So he's kind of like the 3rd/4th choice. So it'll kind of be interesting to see what they want to do when the season ends, if they want to bring him on, because they don't really have a whole lot of center backs, and they do like playing 3 at the back. So it is interesting.
I just feel as well that just talking about our defensive thing, and Robin makes a good point about Callum Chambers, because he's appearing on the bench now. As far as I'm concerned, I don't give a stuff about how much the guy's getting paid. I just think that David Luiz now should have a role where he's only played if we are threadbare in that position. If there's any really bad injuries or really have to rotate because a more important game is coming up, that's when you put David Luiz in, if you have to.
And again,
he should be, for me, right at the back of the queue. He should be behind Chambers in the pecking order, for as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, yeah,
work with a Callum Chambers.
I want to see more of Callum Chambers since he got hurt. He hasn't really played much. But and also to the no contract for Luiz or Laka. Again, I think Laka's contract is also tied up with the Balogun and Eddie situation. If we don't sign Balogun, Eddie, I think, needs to go. He's not playing well. I think we need to figure something out for him. But I don't think we're going to sell Lacazette in the summer if we're going to lose Balogun. That just doesn't make sense. I do think maybe there's a case that Martinelli might take over, which I would kind of like to see. I'm very curious. But I think, considering extending Lacazette, I don't want to do it. But if we're getting rid of Balogun and we don't want to bring in another striker, or we don't see a striker that out there that we want, it might be, again, an emergency break glass. And that breaking glass is extending Lacazette, because Eddie might be going, Balogun might be going. And listen, I see you shaking your head, Stan. I'm not saying I want this and I agree with it, but I'm just trying to wrap my head around it, because we've all said this whole entire season. Well, this is Laka's last season. We're going to sell him. Yeah, he's playing well. That's awesome. He's really putting a shift game in, game out for us, but he's got to go. It's just, we need to bet in these young guys, and we need to see what talent we have.
What I'd like to see happen in that striking role, and I think it's always going to be difficult for us to really settle in a number 9 position while Aubameyang's still at the club, because there's all these questions about whether he should be playing or is he on the left, and we're almost talking now about can we fit him in the team, shoehorn him in. I would like to see Lacazette get sold. He was bought as a replacement for Olivier Giroud, because we said that Olivier Giroud wasn't good enough to get us to where we want to go. But Lacazette, as much as I was happy when we signed him, has proven he's never been able to beat the numbers that Olivier Giroud put up. So if Olivier Giroud isn't good enough, then I don't think Lacazette is. If he can't even establish those numbers, I'd like to see us cash in on him. And I'd like to see us, rather than rely on a Martinelli or a Balogun, who I think Martinelli still has a little bit to learn his trade, because he's so raw, and Balogun is such an unknown quantity. I think, for not too much money, we could go and get that young lad up at Celtic, Odesson Edouard. And I think that he would be a good upgrade on Lacazette. He's just recently changed his agent to the same agent as Kieran Tierney. So there's a link there. And Celtic are having a real bad time of it at the moment. I have a few friends that have, very close ties to Celtic, and they want Lennon out. There's a lot going on at board level, and it might be the right time to maybe get him away from there. And maybe something like 30 million, 35 million, something like that might be able to do it.
Let me just shout out Stay Fresh here. Thank you very much for the kind donation, my friend. And Stan, you just kind of touched on it with Martinelli. He says Martinelli's not ready, guys. A lot of energy, but he's not smooth enough yet. His first touch is still kick and runish. He's not Foden or Saka yet. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I'm telling you, if he gets a run of games like Pepe seems to be getting at least right now, I think the biggest thing for Martinelli is just playing. He's got to play. And
I agree with everything in that comment except for not ready. I think he's not ready to start. If that's what if that's what you're talking about, Stay Fresh, because I agree. I think everything you said is spot on. I don't think he's ready to start, but I do think that he's that guy you bring on 70th minute, 60th minute, and you just want you want to up the tempo. You want to make them sweat a little. I think he's the perfect guy to bring on, which is funny because a few seasons ago we were talking about, do you play Laka? Do you play Aubameyang? Who do you play? What do? You play both? Do you play one? You play the other? And everyone was saying, well, you start Aubameyang and you put Lacazette in to kind of just outwork the defense. But yeah, I think it's what you do with Gabriel Martinelli.
I'm just scrolling through the comments here. EGTV Gal said, Ryan, you can touch on this. McGuinness is the one he really wants to see next year.
I really want to see. I don't know about next year, probably 2 years, but McGuinness,
more like
McGuinness and Ballard. Look out for Ballard too. He's a guy that I think he's going to be a really good shout. I've been tooting this guy's horn for about 3 seasons now. I don't. It's kind of getting in the rope, but Zach Medley is someone I really like. But he's just
he just can't seem to put it together, man. That kid's a unit.
You've seen him. He's such a big boy.
Is that Ballard?
No, Zach Medley. They just loaned him out to the Scottish Premier League during I think deadline day. He's someone I really want to see. The Scottish Premier League.
Okay.
Yeah, they recalled him from Gillingham. I think they recalled Trey Coyle too. But yeah, we put him out. We put him out to some Scottish team. I think I didn't hear about us reloading Trey Coyle, so maybe we didn't. But I thought we recalled both of them.
Kilmarnock.
Yeah.
Stan, am I saying that right?
Who's that?
Kilmarnock. How do you say it?
You're both talking.
Kilmarnock. Yeah, okay. So that's where Zach Medley just went.
I think he's somebody that we should just keep loaning him out, up his value, and kind of sell him. I don't think he's going to be an asset for us, but I think his profile and his stature and everything he brings to the table, I think could attract some suitors and get us some money. So I really think, he's someone that we should try to keep loaning out. And like Robin said, I think I don't think he's got good positioning. He's still very raw. I think he relies on his athleticism and his stature to win him duels and stuff. And he's just not. He doesn't have. I don't think really he has the football IQ. Especially, I don't think he's got it for Arsenal.
I think as well that someone like Zach Medley, he's kind of been around in that younger scene for quite some time now. I think if there was anything going to happen there, we would have seen him get more of a sniff, even just being around them, maybe in pre-season as well. But I do hope that players like Saka and, even Martinelli, even though Martinelli didn't come from a youth academy, but he's young. I really hope that Mikel Arteta is seeing that maybe it may convince him that some of our younger players that are just in the next level below, who we may be hopeful about, like a Ballard or a Miguel Aziz, some of these younger players, they may get a path to the senior team a little bit more. The door might be open a little bit more quicker, because Mikel was probably looking at some of these younger gunners that have come through and thinking, well, if the hunger's there, maybe we can work with it. Maybe, because you've got to remember, Emil Smith-Rowe was almost going to be going out on loan again this season. They deemed it necessary that he needed to go out on loan again. And it's only because of needs must, he's now basically managed to establish himself as a first teamer.
Yeah. Ryan?
Mm-hmm. I like all the Moeller comments. I'm a big fan of his. I do think, if Balogun leaves, I think he's someone that we could really use. Again, I don't think he's ready. And the problem with all this young stuff, and if Big Steve, if you're still listening, I'm with you, buddy. Chubby for the kids all day long. I love the kids. Chubby for the kids. But this season and even last season was our season to kind of be like, okay, like we're going to throw in the deep end, see if you could swim. I think going forward, after this season, because I do think we're kind of starting to turn a corner a little bit. I think we're going to kind of ease it up on the kids, and I think we're going to kind of loan kids out, have them on the bench. And again, in case of emergency, please break glass. They're going to be those kind of players. Because I think going past this season, I think we're going to try to start making moves to the top four and moves for Champions League and bigger things. Because I do see us being around there. I'm not saying we're there yet, but we're starting to lose there.
What's the goal at this point this year? Where are we
this season?
What's the goal for this season? Fan?
Well, it's got to be to remain in Europe in some form. Whether we can win the Europa League and get into the Champions League, or we can somehow manage to get ourselves into a league position that allows us to stay at least in the Europa League. We've got to be in Europe in some shape or form. Now, especially as well, when we get to the summer, if we are going to have more money to spend, it could be the difference of the caliber of player that we're able to bring in, depending on what we're able to offer them in what competitions.
So, Ryan, what's the goal? What's the focus?
See, it's definitely win the Europa League. I think that's number one. Nail it down. Nail my flags to the mast. The thing with Premier League, though, is it's changing every day. It's changing every week. Teams are just dropping points. Because, we had this conversation. We might have actually had this conversation like 4 or 5 podcasts ago. I would have said, I don't really care about the Premier League. I want to win Europa. Put the kids in, see what they're made of. Now that everyone's dropping points, and obviously bar today's game, we're playing, and not even bar today's game. We're playing so much better. We're playing really good football. We're playing attractive football. We're doing really good things. We're sort of starting. I don't think we fully turned the corner. We're starting to turn the corner a little bit. I think we need to be competitive. Now, if you were to say, give me a place, what's competitive? I don't know, because like I said, I think, again, the Premier League is always changing. Teams are constantly dropping points. Liverpool has Jordan Henderson as their center back. Things are just always evolving, and Harry Kane's missing time because he did his dumb fucking foul he tries to do on people. Well, karma's a bitch. So it's just to me, I just want to see us play well and play as a team, establish a culture, and kind of get that that Arsenal that we know and love back. But for sure, though, if we're talking about like actual like stats and stuff, you gotta win the Europa League. We just have to.
So something interesting. Somebody said this in the comments. I'm scrolling up to try to find who it was. Rahul, is Benfica going to be a one-legged tie? Heard rumors about it. So this is I just looked it up.
Benfica.
Sure enough, it's on Sky. So I guess take that for what it's worth, but it looks like it's a consideration.
Oh, no, one game, yeah.
I like it. I prefer a knockout. I'd rather do that.
Just one game, winner take all, huh?
Yeah, I prefer that.
Fair. I'm indifferent. I kind of like the two legs. Just it's more football to watch. That's why. But I like the one and done kind of thing too. It's look, who's the better team on the day?
I just want to ask Ryan a question because he knows more about these things. And I was literally thinking it a few minutes ago, and then a couple of people have asked in the chat box, Robin and Jess, Ryan, what the fuck has happened to John Jules? He was quite promising, right?
I was gonna answer that question in the chat, but Lawrence Emanuel answered it for me. He is on loan at Doncaster.
How's he doing?
It's all right.
What do you reckon? Has he got what it takes to maybe get a place ahead of Eddie or Balogun?
Eddie, yes. Balogun, I don't know, because it sucks because I've had this. I think I talked about it on Chino's Arsenal with Tanner and Jess, and it's such a tough situation with Balogun because I think Balogun is the next coming. I think he's going to be fantastic. We need to sign him. We need to throw everything at him. But with that being said, we can't be just, oh yeah, here's $100,000 a week because we think you're the bee's knees. We can't be paying him more than Saka. We can't be paying him more than ESR. And if his demands are that, because all the rumors are saying that his demands are he wants to get paid more than ESR and Saka. I forgot the number. I think the number is like 70K a week or something. You just can't do that. As much as I love him, and I think he's going to be, better. You can quote me this. He's going to be better than Gnabry. He's going to be the next Gnabry.
We cannot afford to pay these kids like 70 grand a week, and then he does a Willian on us.
How?
Yeah. He does a Willian
or an Ozil. I hate to bring it up. I'm so sorry. So sorry, guy.
Is it Balogun or is it his agent?
Same agent as Eddie.
Because here's the one thing with this.
Because I think Balogun does want to stay here. But then at what point, if you're going to your agent saying, "Look, I want to be here, I want to stay here," and your agent's like, "No, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this," at what point do you just say, "You know what, man, I've had it with you. I'm telling you what I want. You're not doing it. You work for me." Yeah, if I'm the player and he's not doing what I want him to do, I'm saying, bro, you work for me. You do what I tell you to do. If I tell you I'm going to play for a bag of peanuts every Sunday, you go get me the contract that gives me the bag of peanuts every Sunday. It's not that simple, as you could see. Two clear examples recently. You have Matt Doherty, who signed with the Scum. He's an Arsenal fan,
right?
Harry Kane even too. So obviously there's money and. I just saw this, I think today, the center back that Liverpool signed from
Ben Davis.
No, the other one from Schalke.
From Schalke.
He's a big Chelsea fan, and there's a tweet of his that says, "Go on Chelsea, fuck off Liverpool." Says something like that, and he's now playing for Liverpool. So it's like, I get what you're saying. If you really want to stay at the club, it's the agent's got to make you happy, but. The agent's like, yeah, cool, but I can make you triple what you're making at Arsenal. You just got to go to Germany and play for RB Leipzig.
But is he really going to get him triple? Is he really?
But he's going to – if he leaves, if he doesn't sign with us, he's going to make more money elsewhere. I believe that. He's not going to leave. We're not going to present them a contract just for argument's sake. Hey, you're going to sign this, $50,000 a week. And – Dortmund, you name any team. I don't care. You can name Bayern Munich. You can name any team. They'll match Arsenal's offer. He's not going to leave. He's going to get paid more elsewhere. And I think that's why he leaves.
I was watching a clip on Paul Merson on Sky. They were talking about, these two centre-backs that Liverpool have signed. And he was going about, this lad from Germany. I bet he can't believe he's like Kenny. All of a sudden now he's going over, he's going over to the to the champions. He goes, his agent should get a knighthood. He should get a knighthood for that. But the insurance basket, I love that name, and I'd love to find out the background of how you came up with the insurance basket. But he makes a good comment. The under 23s is littered with the next comings. Just look at Eddie's record. And he's right. We've seen so many times, right, kids in the under 23s tearing it up and scoring goals for fun, and then they rarely make that pathway through to the first team.
I agree with you, but I'm telling you, I've watched enough, a decent amount of 23s. Balogun is on a different level. And people said that about Saliba, which I didn't agree with when Saliba was playing with the RU23s. People was like, oh, Saliba doesn't belong here. Doesn't look like he belongs here. He was very raw, made some rash decisions, but he was good. You could make the argument that he looked like he didn't belong there. But still, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe. Balogun doesn't belong with U23s. It's very evident in watching him play. If you maybe after the podcast, I'll send you clips of Balogun and some of his goals. He's like playing with the other team for fun. He's just like, oh, you guys are serious here? Come on. He's gonna be a superstar.
The gap though between the U23s and the Premier League, and I'm talking the bottom of the barrel Premier League teams. The gap between those teams that's a gulf, man. That's an ocean. So Balogun can toy. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not this. I don't mean this to be argumentative. I'm simply playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Because I agree with you actually. But the gulf in talent, Balogun can toy with the U23s and then go up against the big boys up here, and they toy with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I agree. But we also
this is all moot because he can't get a word in edgewise here.
Let's be real here. None of us are on the scouting team. I'm not a scouter. I'm not professional in what I do. I could be completely wrong in any of this. But let's find out. See if I'm right. See if I'm wrong. I really and I was also someone that was like, yeah, Eddie. I was someone who watched Eddie play in the U23s, and I was like, yeah, he's good. He scores goals, man. But the one thing I remember specifically that I did say to him, he just knows where to be. He finds where the ball's going. He gets there, and he I don't know if I said taps it in, but he puts it in, and that's all fine and dandy. But that's something that it doesn't really translate to the Premier League. Yeah, you could be at the right place at the right time, but if you're getting bullied and you're getting pushed around and you don't have the physique, it's just not going to happen. I think that that's the guy. I think Fulham just signed him, didn't they?
Yeah. So real quick, hold your thought, Ryan, but real quick to Jessica's comment here. She's absolutely spot on. If you watch Sunderland Till I Die as a docu,
I did it.
Netflix, it's fantastic, by the way. It's absolutely great. There are 2 seasons of it. This is this Josh Maja or Maha, however you say his last name, but he's in the 2nd season, and Jess is absolutely spot on with this. His agent screwed him.
What happened? I don't know.
He screwed him. I don't think he kicked the ball for Bordeaux. That's where he left Sunderland in the January transfer window, went to Bordeaux. I'm not sure he ever kicked the ball for him. But at any rate, so the transfer window closed. Stan, give me a rating. That's a really bad segue, by the way. That was awful. We were just talking about the U23s, and I saw the stop sign. I saw the stop sign or the yield sign, and I just fucking whizzed by it.
1 second.
Oh, okay. So Ryan, give me your grade on the transfer window.
So I know I made a grading on Jess's show, and I don't even know what I said. 9.59. I'm a little lower because me, Tanner, and Jess. What?
Talked you into it, didn't I?
No. You didn't talk me anything. I and Jess can back me up on this. We talked to us in the after show, and I was like, oh, I forgot to mention the Balogun and Eddie situation. To make our transfer window better, I would have liked the Balogun situation sorted. I think I would have liked Eddie's situation sorted. But I would give it probably an 8. I would say it's an 8. And Max, Toby, Manny, Michael slate me for this because in the chat I was like, oh, it's a 9. 9 because we were so good. And then I kind of thought about things. And the thing, too, is that I was constantly kind of battling with and coming up with a rating is you got to think realistic. we could sign, we're not going to sign Messi in the January transfer window because someone will be like, oh, it would be a 10 if we signed Messi. That's not going to happen. We're not going to sign Messi in the January transfer window. So you got to kind of look at that way. And, usually it's not a period of a lot of movement normally, especially for like big clubs, unless you need something like Liverpool needs center backs. They got two. But we got rid of everybody, kind of Barjaka. Sorry, Gary, but that we needed to get rid of. I probably could have got rid of maybe one or two more. Maybe we sent our kids out on loan. And again, and I had it at 9. I kind of lowered it a little bit more because I kind of wanted Nelson to go out on loan too. I think he needs a loan really bad. Honestly, I think he kind of needs a loan more than maybe not more than AMN, but I think he needs a loan more than Willock. Just on the fact that I just think Willock, I don't think he's ever going to make it here. I think we just need to kind of cut our losses and sell him. But who knows? He could do great things in Newcastle and raise his value, and I hope he does. And I wish nothing for the best for him. But I think for me personally, I think something is still there for Reece Nelson. I don't know what it is. I can't tell you. I just see something in Reece Nelson that I think we could use. Maybe not as a starter, but definitely as a squad player, someone that we could bring on, or for rotation purposes. Or anything like that. But and then too, like everyone talks about, oh, we didn't bring in a left back, we didn't bring a backup left back. I'm not as concerned about that as everybody else is. I think that giving sorry, Gary, given when you put you're starting 11 out and you have your subs and stuff, you're not normally going to have a left fullback and a right back on your subs. You can have one or the other. You'll probably have a fullback.
Yeah, you're not going to have both.
You're not going to have both. We have Tierney, we have Cedric, we have Bellerin, we have Chambers who can do it, but again, break glass in case of emergency. And again, and Lawrence, I'm going to this right now. Segue. We had Maitland-Niles, but Maitland-Niles is supposed to be Kieran Tierney's backup. And why hasn't he been playing? Why hasn't he had it? He doesn't even make
because he's shit.
Yeah, he doesn't even make starting. What is it? 18. They have 9 subs now, so starting 20s or not starting. The 20s.
The midfielder, for fuck's sake. I mean, ridiculous.
I think he's got the skill. I think he's got the talent.
It's just the most ridiculous thing. Even considering I'm going to put you in at left back for me.
But he's played there for us though.
I'm not doing it any favors.
Can I show you guys something real quick? And this is totally off the topic. We're going to backtrack a little bit, but I have to put this up. I have to show you.
Blue. London is blue. Craig Pawson.
Well, you must be fucking colorblind then.
When was this though?
6 years ago.
August 20th of 2017.
Yeah.
That's pretty recent. With 4 years, that's less than 4 years ago. It's pretty recent.
Right.
3.5 years ago.
So listen.
Wow.
You want my rating for the transfer window?
Yes, please. Yes, I asked you that 10 minutes ago.
Out of what am I rating out of?
10. 10.
1 out of 10. What is my rating for this transfer window? Well, I'll give it a 10. We got rid of Mesut Ozil.
There you go.
That was coming.
We get rid of 10 for a 10 for Stan. That's what I like to see. Perfect.
There you go. Well done.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy. It's done. It's finished. It's over.
Also, too, just real quick, what I want to say about left backs, I think, too, we're better off waiting until summer to sign a backup, because there's going to be more of them and they're going to be free. Whereas if we brought in a left back now, I think we would have had to pay. So that's why I didn't really care about a backup. Yeah, that's why I wasn't concerned about a backup left back. So to me, it's just Eddie Balogun, and he's still here, but he's playing well. So I guess I can't be too upset.
He is playing well. What else is on your mind, boys? I think we've pretty much covered most.
Man U game? Do we talk about the Man U game? I mean, does it matter? But
I mean, we can if you want to talk about it. You know, we can. That's fine. I mean, it was an entertaining game. I'll say that. I think the result matches the game. I think it was pretty evenly played. It was entertaining. It was an entertaining 0-0 draw to me. That's my opinion. I don't know. Stan's got a look on his face. Feel like you might disagree with that.
I just have this thing that if I was able to change a rule in football, one of the first things that take this bloody house.
Thank you. That was driving me nuts, man.
One of the rules that I would change is I would love to see no points for a 0-0 scoreline.
Yeah, we've talked
nothing.
And you adore Bert Leno. You're going to do that? Come on.
I think it would open up games a little bit more. I don't mind a 1-1 draw, a 2-2. You know, but a 0-0 draw for me is not worthy of anything. I don't want to see teams playing for that. But like you say, for a 0-0 draw, it was entertaining.
I do feel like they were going for it. I feel like both teams.
I was going to disagree because I do think they were going for it.
And we're just kind of kicking the ball back and forth between each other, and like, hey, you know what? There's 15 minutes left. Let's just each take our point and get the hell out of here alive. I
don't like that. That's what I don't like. I want it to be. Yeah. You know, 15 minutes left. We have to do something drastic here because we need some points.
Yeah. That was us. I mean, we need the points. United very easily. I'm actually, Ryan, you're going to hate this, so maybe cover your ears because it might start to bleed. I give United a little bit of credit because, again, they went for it too. Now, granted, they're at the top of the league and they feel like they can go on and win the thing. I think that's pie in the sky for them.
They're not.
But I give them credit based on what Stan and I are saying. They very easily could have said, hey, you know what? We're top right now. Let's take our point and get on the M5 back up to Manchester. I don't even know if the M5 goes to Manchester. I hear people say the M5 all the time. So I'm like, maybe Manchester. What's that?
I think it actually might do the M5. Might be wrong, but you know, I think it might actually. So.
But I give them credit because, like I said, I think they went for it too, and they very easily could have just packed it in and said, "Look, take our point, go back home, and we're still right in the conversation, you know, for top of the league." But they went for it. They went for it. They're like, "No, we're going to go for this, and we're going to try to get all 3 points here and maintain top of the league, not just hang around the conversation, but stay there." So, yeah, entertaining 0-0 draw to me. I don't really have much else to. Thomas Partey had a shitter of a game. He stunk.
I don't want to say shitter. He definitely had a poor. He had a poor game. He had a poor game according to his standards, which I agree with. But he didn't have a shitter. I think he was great defensively. I just think he was very sloppy with the ball. He's very sloppy passing the ball. But like, you got to figure where our midfield has been last year and early this season. I didn't think he played that bad. Like, you got to, considering, like, what was it? We had my ex-boy and Ceballos, ex-boy, and he wasn't good. But the one thing I will say about Man U is I think, and again, maybe I'm biased, but I don't think they're as good as, you know, everyone makes them out to be. I don't think they should be anywhere near the top of the table. So they've only scored, you know, I'll pose this question to you guys. How many goals has Man U scored against a Big Six team and Leicester this season? Any idea, Stan? Put your finger down, Tanner. Show some respect.
No, I don't.
1. And that 1 goal, yeah. You know what, Tanner? I'm going to give you a burger after the show. And that one goal.
I love that he does this because I can just
Just do it more often, man. I don't know. Since you should do it more often, you have the power.
Lick my balls, both of you. One of you takes the right, one of you takes the left.
He's back.
And I am a little angry. And the 1 goal that they scored against Tottenham when they lost 6-1. So I don't buy into the hype that everyone has on Man U. Oh, they're a title contending team. They might do it this year with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Get the fuck out of here.
Please tell me that was not your attempt at Howard Cosell, man, because that was bad.
Was it? No, I just did like a random like 50s. I'm a 50s guy. I don't know. But yeah,
Howard Cosell.
I don't know who Howard. I do know who Howard Cosell is, but I wasn't trying to do him. But yeah, no, I'm just not bought. So I kind of wish we got 3 points. And I know a lot of people said it, I think in our chat last week, another podcast I was on, you know, people said, you know, 3 points or bust, you know, they'd be really upset with, you know, a point. And I agree with it. But in the same respect, you know, you say that leading up to the game and then you watch the game. You saluting? Okay. Yeah. In leading up to the game or watching the game, I should say, I think we played really well. I think we, you know, and to me, I have a soft spot for a clean sheet for Bert Leno. because we apparently sold the wrong goalkeeper. You see? Yeah, see, that's I don't know, it's like a random accent I do. I don't know what it is, but
Man, you got to help out here, man. You're the actor. You got to jump in.
It's all like W.C. Fields has walked into the room. Okay, we should have held our own.
But yeah, I don't know. I can tell you one thing though. I'm not looking forward to the game against Villa. That's what I'm not looking forward to. Which I'll be at work, so I won't be able to watch it live. So
yeah. Well, no. You'll be at work that early. It starts at 7:30.
I got work early that day. So yeah, I'll
actually watch the whole thing. Stay fresh. Thank you very much for that, man. Appreciate that. Great show, boys. Great show as usual. We should try to do this twice a week. We can only stand so much of Ryan at a time. So
I was gonna say each other, but call me out. Okay, fine.
Hey, man, you're the redheaded stepchild here. What do you want me to say, man? We always pick on you.
And yes, the curtains do match the drapes. I can only say curtains.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry, wow. I'm thinking about W.C. Fields now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Anyway, who's our next game?
Villa
Saturday morning.
Oh, battle of the goalkeepers. Oh, but Owen's not going to be playing, is he? Runnerson.
No, honestly, that's like my thing I'm not looking forward to. That's the one good thing I think about Leno being out, because I don't need to hear this like, oh, Leno versus Martinez, who's better? And like, if they beat us 1-0 or something, oh, Martinez is better than Leno. It's like, no, it's not. That's not how this works.
Is it Runnerson or the other chap that we just bought?
So Ryan's hurt with it. He's got a bum hip apparently right now, but
a bum hip.
Be training.
Did we buy him with a bad injury?
No, he hurt himself.
He hurt it in training.
He got himself stepping out of the car when he arrived at Arsenal.
That's exactly when he did it. That's exactly what he did. Yep.
Signed the contract, the medical, stepped into the car. That's when he heard it. Oh, I got in one.
He was holding up his hands with his goalkeeper gloves on, and they tried to toss the ball. All of a sudden, it was just, oh, my hip. It just went.
Oh, well. And that's the thing too. We kind of didn't talk that I didn't talk about in the transfer window. I think I don't want to say more excited, but I definitely liked the signing of Matty Ryan more than I did Odegaard. I think Odegaard's going to be a better player. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for Odegaard. I just think Matty Ryan is the perfect person to bring in. He's an Arsenal man. He's a very good shot stopper. He's good with the ball at his feet. And he's a good goalie. And, for Brighton, they have that Sanchez guy, but, he was kind of getting games here, getting games there. But the one thing that, I kind of not watched games, but I kind of looked at, why? Because Matt Ryan was a good goalie for Brighton last year and 2 seasons ago. It's like, where's the Sanchez guy come out of?
He's been a good goalkeeper for them since they got.
People go like, like Matt Ryan would have bad games, and they just, he just wasn't consistent, so they brought him in. But then you realize if you look back at all of his games that he played for Brighton, he played against the big 6 teams. He played against the Liverpools, the Man Cities. Yeah, no shit, you're gonna have a bad game. You're on Brighton and you're playing Man City. You're not gonna have a clean sheet. So I'm a big fan of the signing. I'm excited for Matt Ryan. I think he's gonna be perfect for us. I hope we could get him on a permanent and kind of get rid of Runnerson a little bit. But
everybody, shout out Rowan right now, joining us in the chat from.
Hey
Ryan, hope you will,
brother. We appreciate it.
Honestly, Rowan, I didn't ship bricks because the bricks were already out of me. I was so checked out at that point. I was like, oh, here it comes, the blonde boy wonder. I
do have something that I know we're going to be going quite soon, I think. But I do have something that I'd like to ask that popped into my mind, and it fucking jumped out again. It was yes, I'll tell you what it was. It was Thomas Partey, right? I never claimed to watch a lot of Atletico Madrid before we bought him. I've seen some bits and pieces. I knew about the reputation. I know what it is that he's supposed to be able to do. But for what you've seen of him so far, I just wondered what people's thoughts on Thomas Partey, being that he's kind of like our last marquee signing, if you will, what your thoughts are on him. I'll be totally honest with you. I've not seen anything, that's made me like come out of my chair. I'm not at the moment. I'm just being honest. From what I've seen so far in the limited, time that I've seen him, I'm not seeing anything that I'm not seeing from El Nene.
Better passing. He's a better forward passer of the ball. He's a better dribbler with the ball. He will make a run forward, whereas El Nenny's El Nenny will run. He's just not going to do it with the ball at his feet the way that Thomas Partey can. And I legitimately think that we've yet to really scratch the surface of what Thomas Partey can do. He's a special player. He really is. He's going to be, I think, if the trend continues for him, and I see no reason why it shouldn't, I really think the best is yet to come for him. I don't even think as a player he should be right at about the peak of his career right now based on his age. I think he's got a little ways further to go up that arc before he starts hitting the downslope.
So another run of like Pepe a little bit. A run of games.
Yeah. The more that he plays, and I think also it's going to be there's going to need to be some consistency in who he plays with in the midfield, because he's going to sort of play in that midfield too, if you will, where he's going to have a partner back there that they're going to need to work well off of one another. I'm not saying he needs it, but
right.
I think he needs to develop the consistency with one person. To be honest with you, he seems to be developing that with Granit Xhaka right now.
So real quick before I answer this, I don't even know who said this. Hanayumi. I probably butchered it. I'm so sorry. I am fit. I am fit for the Villa game on Sunday, but I do not think Arteta is going to select me. But I'm fit. I'm ready to go. I could put in a shift. I don't think I'm going to get selected, though. I hate to break it to everybody in the chat. But as far as Partey, I'm actually surprised you said that, Sam. I think he's the stuff that he's done. I don't think he's been as good as I thought he was going to be, because I have watched him in Atletico a little bit here and there. But the stuff that he has brought to the team, the stuff that he has done for us, is something that we've been looking for quite some time. You know, he breaks the press really well. He gets the ball, he makes that half turn, and he just dribbles through pressure it's like seamlessly, just very easy. And again, someone said in the chat, I'm so sorry, I don't know who it was, but he had that brilliant pass to Saka, who hit the post in like the first minute of the game. I think it was like 30 seconds of the game. He had a monster pass to Saka, who beat Kilburn, Horn. I don't even know. But yeah.
Lone Star London, he says, "Ooh, let's give him a run of game." Bollocks, earn it. Well, if we thought that way, right? Seriously, Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp would still be sat on the bench.
Yep.
Look how long it took them to settle in.
Yep. And if you don't play Lone Star Londoner, how do you earn it?
Exactly.
Training session, you see. Sorry.
Yeah. Slaloming in and around cones. What slalom. Right. Look at the way he slaloms around those cones. I think I'm going to play him on Saturday.
Maxwell brings up a good point, because that's when I was like, when I first started, I've always liked Partey's profile, but when we played Atletico in Wenger's last season, I was like, oh, this is like the best player on the pitch. Both games, he was the best player on the pitch for both teams. I want him.
I mean, and anybody that's going to go back and watch his highlights from his time with Atletico, you need to take those with a pinch of salt, because of Diego Simeone's coaching style. He's just very defensive. So, are you chuckling at me saying pinch of salt, Stan?
No, I'm just chucking at Lone Star Londoner, spitting his dummy out, going, "Grow up!" I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on. Like, it's probably the first time that I've actually bit back at one of your comments over the last 5 weeks. Do you know, I think I'm doing pretty well. Do you know what I mean? I actually think you've got off lightly for the last 5 weeks. So have another one of them.
You know, it's so funny. So I know, Stan, you're into the boxing MMA thing. I don't know how much you are, Tanner, but just got announced last week. Jake Paul, a YouTube influencer, he's boxing against Ben Askren, an MMA guy, a very good wrestler. It's going to be okay. I'll probably watch it, because I like Ben Askren, because he talks a lot of shit and he's hilarious.
But they're boxing?
Yeah, they're boxing. And he's fighting Jake Paul. I'm willing to be your manager, Stan, and have Stan versus Lone Star London on the undercard. I'm willing to make it happen. We could set this up, get some pay-per-view points going, get you guys some cash in a little bit, because I think we could get a decent amount of viewers in on this. And
me and Lone Star London are mates. But if you do want to set me up on an undercard, yeah, can you hook me up? Can you have a word? Can you get Patrick Timmons in the other corner? Yeah, you get Patrick Timmons, right? Do you know what I mean? I won't even ask for a cut of the purse. I'll turn up and do it for free.
Oh man, that's
Lone Star Londoner's got your number, man. He knows you have 2 left feet.
But yeah, so I'm not excited for Villa, and I think it sucks, and I'll admit this, and everyone knows this already. My favorite non-Arsenal player is Jack Grealish, and I love watching him play. So knowing what happened and knowing we're not going to have Leno, and I just love Grealish, and I know Jess put a tweet out saying, we don't need Jack, we don't need him, we have so many. I'm goo gaga for him. What can I say? I'm going to watch him. I'm going to be goo gaga for him. But at the end of the day,
wait, can you say gaga one more time?
I can't. Yeah. Too many beers. Goo gaga. But we need 3 points. We need it now. We need to turn our fortunes around. And obviously, Luis isn't playing. Shout out to Stan. That's awesome. But I think we should still. It'd be a real kick in the ass. Everyone's like, oh, we saw the wrong goalkeeper. Emmy is better than Leno. If we go to Villa, or maybe we're home, who cares?
No, we're at Villa.
Okay, we go to Villa, right? And we beat them at their own place, and we have Runnerson in net. Oof. That would make me happy. That would make me a happy boy.
This is one game I think where obviously because we've seen how bad Runnerson can be, right? As I say, man throws the ball in the back of your own net, you're fucked. You've got no chance in hell. So you see the way we do that free kick thing. We have like a guy lying down behind the wall. We should maybe just get our defense to lie down in front of Runnerson, all of them, and try and build a wall.
A wall, yeah, like the Spartans stacking bodies as they kill them.
Because if you're the Villa boss or on the coaching team, you're going to be homing in on that. Take shots at Runnerson, even if you might be a little further out. Take a shot. He might throw the fucker in the back of the net for you.
I thought about this earlier today. So Stan, this is great because I like this real quick. So we'll preview the Villa game real quick. How would you, if you're managing, coaching, whatever, what's your style? Are you going to say, boys, pack it in? We're going to try to nick this thing 1-0 because I don't trust the goalkeeper? Or do you go Marcelo Bielsa and just say defense, as in this fence or that fence? Because we're not going to try to stop you. We're just going to try to score goals. Because my point being, Leeds aren't interested in playing defense at all. They just want to score. So do we go balls to the wall trying to score?
I'd do what you said at the very first. Obviously, I would phrase it differently so that Runnerson doesn't think, he thinks I'm that shit.
Yeah, sure.
It'd be like, lads, let's really help him out. Let's help Runnerson out today. Let's keep it really compact at the back. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't go venturing off too much. Make sure you've got your man and you've marked him. And then another thing as well, I saw it again today at a set piece. Either Hector Bellerin is a lot smaller than I originally thought he was, or they're purposely asking him as some kind of like a joke to mark the tallest man on the team. Because every time I see him in the marking someone for a corner kick, he always seems to be marking someone who looks like the Jolly Green Giant next to him. He always seems to be like looking at
the air up there.
So I don't know if he's just literally, small anyway, but it's ridiculous. But yeah, I do what you said there. But I'd keep it really compact because of Runnerson. It's one of those things where we could be 1-0 up, and riding it, and then an error by Runnerson could cost us.
Right. So you're trying to nick it 1-0 and just play a really defensive style.
Yeah, or 2-0, get a cushion. And keep it tight after that. Don't try and get to 2-0 and then lock it up.
And then just shut it down. Yeah. Ryan.
I mean, it's tough because I said yesterday we should run through Wolves. Wolves aren't playing well. We're better than them. The first 45 minutes, I looked like a genius. Yeah, right.
We did run through them. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's my point. We did everything. I'm like, yeah, so I'm right. But then one play changes the game. And then another, so we should run through Villa. We should beat them, But then again, you go look back when they came to the Emirates. It's probably our worst performance of the season. We got embarrassed. We got outright embarrassed.
Yeah,
and they were having fun with us. So, and it's funny because I want to just be like, yeah, we're gonna beat them. This is how we're gonna do it. But like after today, I can't I'm almost scarred. I have like PTSD from today's game because I'm just, we should run through Villa. We should beat Villa. They have individual pieces that could hurt us, but I think, overall, I think we're just a better team. We're playing really well. I think we keep that up. I don't think Runnelson's going to matter. Even if he throws one in the back of our net, I don't think that's going to matter. But with that being said, Gabriel could just slide tackle, take out Ross Barkley in the box, could see the penalty. Runnelson could throw it off, try to, throw it out of the box, hits Grealish's head, bounces back into our net. It is so – I literally – you almost have to plan for everything. You have to almost set up your house like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone. You got to prepare for everything at this point because –
break out the micro machines.
Yeah, because, like Stan said, if Stan had watched the game for up until the Luis penalty and we go, yeah, how does this end? No one's writing that script. Nobody's writing that script. So now it's kind of I almost don't even know. It was just funny. Like I almost don't want to preview any games or because I'm just like, yeah, well, that could happen. Granted, Luis is on the field, but Xhaka is. And I know Gary, that was 3, and whatever. I don't care. I'll take it. But I do think we're going to beat them, and I think that this game will go behind us. I think Gabriel will come in, hopefully play a good game. And Maxwell Runnelson's like Olaf from Frozen. I'm wearing a shirt here. Keep calm and let it go, baby, because that's what I had to do. I had to keep calm and let this game go because I was absolutely miserable. But I'm glad I got to talk to you guys. I'm glad I got to, the chat was in here because I had fun considering the torture I was subjected to earlier today.
It's good therapy. It's good therapy.
Yeah, very good therapy.
Ryan, you wanna go with the last word?
Yeah. Just again, this helped. I actually talked to Tanner earlier today, and I was like, I'd be lucky if I podcast tonight. I was so angry. I was upset. I didn't even know who to be mad at one point. Am I mad at the team? Am I mad at Luis?
Real quick, let's just tell everybody what we said in the group chat on Twitter because I put it out there. I'm like, I don't even want to do this tonight.
Yeah, and that's the things. I was like scared. I didn't really know what to be mad at. Because I had to watch the game. I had to replay a few times. Am I really mad at VAR? Am I mad at Craig Boston? I'm mad at I was just angry. I didn't know who to punch in the face. I guess I don't know, but this helped, and thankful for everybody in the chat. Thankful for you two wonderful gentlemen above me. And yeah,
where we should be.
Yeah, and
I'm
a power bottom. I'll admit it. That's fine. But anyways.
Yeah, you are.
But no, the one thing I will say is, please, I wish it was under better circumstances because Manny literally said to me yesterday, Arse Bros Extreme, Wednesday, I think to me at 2 p.m. UK time. It's going to be great as long as we don't lose to Wolves tomorrow. Well, sorry, Manny. We lost to Wolves. But definitely check it out. It's going to be fun. Watching Manny, listening to Manny podcast is always fun. He's awesome dude. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say. I think he might be talking about the transfer window more so than the game and celebrating it because I know for a fact he has said that our transfer window was a 10 out of 10, and he was very excited and excited for what we're going to do in the future. So definitely check it out on the Arse Bros channel, on YouTube, Facebook, wherever. I think it's going to be Wednesday, which is tomorrow, 2 o'clock UK time. So I think for the East Coast, that's 7. No. Wait a minute. No, I'm an idiot. Shit. Manny's gonna kick my ass. I think
what time is he doing it UK?
I think it's 2 o'clock our time. So it's 7 o'clock UK.
7 p.m. UK.
But don't worry, I'm very slow, and I've been drinking my Notorious Gypsies like water. I will retweet the podcast, but seriously, everyone should check it out. It's gonna be fun. But yeah. Cheers, guys.
Stan?
Just the same as usual. Just want to say a big thank you to everybody in the chat box, the 12th man, as usual, for coming in and listening to us three chat shit about Arsenal, as we do every Tuesday. Thank you for all coming and listening, and a pleasure as always to be on with you two. And looking forward to having Rohan back with us next week, the 4. So, yeah, that's it from me. Thanks to everyone.
I'm just going to shout out Gary's channel real quick. Don't waste the tweet. Gary,
Yes,
put the
please
link.
check that out. Yes.
Gary put the link in the comments, so please copy and paste that. Gary, type into the comments just what they could search on YouTube for you. They just wanted to go onto YouTube and type something into the search bar. So put that in the comments as well. I'll try to talk a little bit so you can get that done. I want to shout out Rohan real quick too. Thanks for jumping in here, man. We miss you. We're thinking about you, buddy. All the best. So, yeah, everybody, Tony, 4 horsemen, never the same was never the same without the first 4. I
Kid can't even read.
Yeah, right.
The original 4 were the best 4, weren't they?
The best 4. Who was it? All right, wait. Was Flair?
Yeah, Tully Blanchard, and wasn't it one of the Von Erichs?
Was it one of the Von Erichs?
Was it Kerry
I'm
Von
not that old. DX baby sucking.
They had Steve McMichael for a while, didn't they? Mongo
McMichael, yeah, they had him in there.
They had Chris Benoit for a while as a horseman.
Yep.
Yeah, who was it?
Yeah, we gotta look this up. But anyway, here we go. I killed enough time. Yeah, awesome, Gary. Thank you. So you can go into YouTube, just search DWTT Arsenal, and that should bring up Gary's channel. Please go give him a subscription, watch his videos, give him some thumbs up on all that stuff. He's doing a great job over there as well. Thank you, Gary, for moderating the chat. Like Stan said, 12th man. Thank you, guys. We really appreciate it. We're on to Villa. Early start on Saturday morning for those on the East Coast. Real early start for those on the West Coast. That's 4:30 your time, man.
You know who we missed?
Who?
Woo!
I said Ric Flair.
Fuck, did we miss? Did we say that?
I said Flair, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard.
Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Ollie Anderson was one. His brother was one. I didn't realize Ole Anderson and Tully Blanchard were the original 4.
They were the original 4.
Wow. Ole Anderson.
Well, you had the brother thing right because you said Von Erichs. So you had the brother thing right.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us. We really appreciate everybody. Good footy talk, guys. We'll see you out there.